Hello, I'm going to show you how to create a 2D capsule and then move it around in Unity. So first thing is open yourself Unity Hub up, come up to a new project here, click 2D here, give it a name, 2D controller I'm going to call it like that, and then you'll find that Unity will then start up for you. It takes a little second, so I'll just fill why that's happening. I'm using Visual Studio Code here, not Visual Studio Community. Community I think is better, and it does install as part of the Unity install. I did have problems with getting everything installed, so maybe if everyone gets struggled with that, then it might be worth doing a little quick tutorial on that side of it, and maybe doing it in Windows as well, because I'm using a Mac at the minute. So then when you get that open, you'll see the main Unity window open. I'll just resize it. And you get the main Unity area here. So what I'm going to do now is basically create a game object. Everything in Unity is a game object. If I right click on my scene here, quite important not to click it at the camera level at the moment, click it at the scene level, and create yourself a game object, new 2D object, sprite. I'm going to create a capsule because that kind of looks like a person, or at least it's got the sort of same dimensions as a person, the same sort of shape, without me having to import sprites or develop anything else extra. So I'm going to create a capsule. There's my capsule. When you first create it, you can rename it at the same time. So I'm going to call it player. You can also right click and rename it by clicking up here and say rename and call it what you like. When you click on it in this view here, you will be able to see the object. If I click on the camera object, because it's a camera, you'll actually be able to see not only the camera's field of reference, but also a main camera showing you what you'd look like if you played the game. So I've created a capsule. I'm now going to create a script for that capsule. You can go to the capsule itself and create a script here, but the way I like to do it is in this assets section on the project, create myself a new folder to keep everything organized, called scripts, and I'm going to go into the scripts by double clicking and then say create myself a new C# script. I'm going to call it player because that seems reasonable. Push enter and it will create the script for me. Now this will actually show you what the script looks like in here just so you can see it, but obviously that's not, you can't edit it in here. The other thing you need to be able to do is actually attach it to the capsule. So if you click on the capsule here and then say add component, actually cleverly it's already found that I've got a script that's got the same name as the capsule, and so it's already wanting to do it for me. But if I deleted that, you'd see you've got various components you can add. One option is to click scripts down here, then find the script. And I've got a few scripts here that just come with Unity, but there's my player script. Or you can actually just type the name of the script in here, which is player, and then do that. So if I do that and add it, I've now got a script attached to my capsule, which is my game object. Now, if I open up that player script by double clicking it, you'll get whatever editor you've got that works for you, hopefully up and running. If you have problems with that, one of the ways to solve it is actually, you'll also see this as well. When I opened it in Visual Studio Code, you'll find it wants me to select a project. Now the project I need to select here is this name of your project.sln file. This is called a solution file. So if I click that, everything will all be happy. I can now put some lines in here to show you these methods getting called. So if I type the words debug log in here, now, if everything's working correctly, you'll find when you start typing, so I'm typing DE for debug, you'll find that you'll get like what's called autocomplete here come up. If things aren't working correctly, that won't work. And if it doesn't work, then it means things aren't configured properly. But for the moment, that works for me. So I can either type it or I can click it like this. And then if I do a dot, you'll find different options here. And the one I'm looking for is log. Now, I generally don't code by typing and clicking on the mouse. I would generally just code by actually typing. So I keep my hands underneath the keyboard, and then in here you can send a string to the console. So I can call start called. Make sure that you put a semicolon at the end of the line because that's the way it works in C#. I've now just copied and pasted that bit of code down here to the update method. Now, everything works. Doesn't have any compile errors in here. If you do have a compile error in here, because you missed a semicolon, for example, at the end of the line, you will see a little red squiggly line here to tell you what you've done. It won't always give you the right answer. You sometimes need to know what you're doing. But if you try and then run that in Unity, it will actually break. So I'm going to put that back on there. I'm going to save it using Control S if you're on Windows, or Command S if you're on a Mac, which I am. Then go back to Unity. When you go back to Unity, you'll see this little reload script box pop up quickly, and that will reload your script. If you've got any compile problems at that point, that thing won't work. Now, if I click on play, and then obviously nothing happens because my capsule is just sitting in space. But if I click on this console option down here, you'll now see that I'm actually spamming. I'm going to actually click play again to stop it. You'll see that I'm spanning loads of information to this console log. And if I scroll right to the top, you'll see the very first thing was a message saying start was called, which is what I wrote in my code. And then after that, I get lots of these update calls. And you'll also be, if you're looking quite hard, is that the date timestamp on these messages you'll see for the update. You can see there's obviously multiple updates per second. So this is 43 seconds. And you can see there's lots and lots and lots that have 43 seconds on them. I think I figured out there's about 250 of this on per second. And what that means is that the update loop that we were just looking at is being called 250 times a second. Actually, that update loop will get called as much or as little depending on what your game's doing, how complicated it is, what things it's showing on the screen, all this kind of stuff. But for a very basic Unity capsule, not doing very much, you'll get a very, very high number of update calls for each time. Now I've got that working, everything's all good. I'm going to get rid of these. I'm going to get rid of this. Now what I'm going to do is actually start responding to some input. And that's what I'm going to do in the next video.